Hey, brothers and sisters, Suleiman Rahim, the Watchman, Messenger Covenant, break our seven seals. You know, this parable here, which I don't know most people understand because they shallow readers or literal readers. So a literal reader is one that reads something with no understanding, just read what it says. Don't try to figure it out, understand it. That what it says. And you know that's what a lot of people do with the sealed Bible. They say, well, it's literal, so it's God's word. Just go with what it says here, right? Because and most people that the sealed Bible anyway, most are literal. Right? I mean, the one that try to figure out is one that's trying to pull something out to get an advantage or some leverage. So just leave it literally. See? And in many ways, it's meant to be read that way, right? Because the sealed Bible is the one that's got the depth to it. The unsealed Bible, that is. And you run it all the time, especially with our people, because they just think about it. A lot of stuff just don't add up. It just don't add up. But don't need to add up because it's from God. He thinks above you, see, it still don't have to add up. See? But yes, he gave you a brain that depends on adding things up. And you make decisions based on adding things up. But if you make a decision that adds up, but the decision that he lacks, he's going to put your ass in hell forever. Ever and ever and ever without no end. Yeah, he's a loving God, he's a just God. See, none of that stuff adds up. None of it. Jesus died, came back from women. If he's dead, he don't know he's dead. So I can bring stuff back to life. If you're dead, that's what it means. You don't even know you're dead, so I can bring back stuff to life. You have to know he was dead. So if you know he's dead, he's not dead. None of that stuff adds up. See? Right? But just read literally and say, well, you have to have faith. It's from God. It's like this little parable here, see? When you look into it, see, you got to ask yourself some questions. Well, why would a man, right? Say parable of two men, one of them dumb, controlling, and he is a burden to his master. Now, why would his master have a servant like that? Why would he have a servant like that? You got to say, why would he even have a servant like that? It's a waste of time. You see? So what's going on in the background there? And is that servant really all he adds up to be? You see? Because he must have the master convinced, at least the master's going along with the program, right, that he's doing a good job, but he's really undermining everything the master's doing. He's a burden to his master because nobody's going to carry a burden. Why would he carry a burden like that? See, it's like an undercover agent, right? He's a burden to you, but you don't know it. He's bringing no good to you, but you don't know it. Because you have to ask yourself, why would the master keep? Because this person is deceiving. He's deceiving his master. See? He didn't say that his master knew that he was doing this. He said that's what the person was doing. One of them, dumb, controlling, know it. He has a burden to his master where he sends him, he brings no good. The master couldn't possibly know that that's what that person's doing. Otherwise, he'd get rid of it, fire him. I mean, wouldn't you? See? Got to read the backstory here. See, this person deceived him. He's making the master think. Right? See? Because you have to say, well, why would, I mean, the master must be dumb, right, to allow this person to continue. You understand? So you say, well, the master is dumb, then the whole problem makes no sense, does it? That's why it's supposed to make you start thinking, and make you start thinking. You understand? Special thinking in depth. It will increase your analytical thinking too, but we have to have some analytical thinking. because that goes together. But primary instance is spatial. And then we have those analytical, that primary analytical, they got some spatial because they have to be able to communicate with each other. It's like the male and the female. We have to have a male has a certain amount of female in them, and the female has a certain amount of male, so they can communicate with each other. So you read the backstory here. See, he got someone deceiving him, pretending. See? You understand? Controlling not. He ain't controlling. He's burdened to his master. Master couldn't possibly know that. Unless the master going along with it. Right? Right? Because, right, like I said, keep your friends close, keep your enemies close, and don't let them know. Because if you let them get away, then you can't control them anymore. So there's some wisdom to that. You understand? Because for instance, if you got a government send an uncovered person in and you recognize who they are, you want to get rid of them. Because now you know it, so just keep them on the low. Just control what he knows, control what he does. Because, if you get rid of them, they're going to move somebody else in and you take a while, you might not be able to recognize that one. You see, because they say, oh yeah, he's an undercover, let's get him. Yeah, that'd be stupid. No, let him know. He controls information. Let him think he's getting away with it. You see? Because if you get out of here and he's feeding back false information, then get rid of him, then they're going to send somebody else in. You may not figure out, that gets back to pressure, like I said. If you're under pressure and you colliding and you kill one of the atoms that you're colliding with, another one's just going to take its place. So why not stick with that one? At least you know where it is. Because the next one, you might not recognize it. I talked about that a while back. I don't know if anybody remember. And that's, and you're talking about, in the Quran says, the elevated places, there's the wise ones, the elevated ones know all by their marks. It says the elevated. So who was the elevated ones? I wonder who would that be? Would that be like messengers and prophets? And Message of the covenant? That's what I mean. Who the other one? So you know everybody what's going on. They know everybody what they're doing. But it doesn't say they tell what they're doing. They don't speak to it. Like for the reason I just told you. At this point, I don't even care. Well, I shouldn't say I don't care. At this point, right? I'm getting ready to show you right now. Let me play this real quick. It's kind of informative. My brother, let me play this for you right quick. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this guy here. Let's see.
Her hands with doing things in Israel, one way or the other. The same thing with Donald Trump. I guess what I'm trying to say is anybody who thinks that they know what's going to happen between now and November is smoking dope. And if you think you know what the outcome is going to be come January on Inauguration Day, again, you're smoking dope. This is a very complicated question that's fraught with problems, domestic and international.
The Hill newspaper reported that Donald Trump, together with RFK Jr., they're asking to have some sort of negotiations with Russians because of the tensions that are increasing that may lead to a nuclear war. And how is that serious in the conflict in Ukraine, in your opinion?
I'm going to be as serious as I am. I've said this on other podcasts. I'll say it here. I just hope that everybody in your audience knows, you yourself, are you married? I don't mean to ask personal questions, but I know you have kids. Do you love your family? What did you do this weekend? Did you take them out? Did you enjoy life? You know you almost died on Saturday. Do you know that? Are you aware of that? Or are you pretending it didn't happen? Because had Joe Biden signed off on the proposal that Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, brought in to greenlight the use of Storm Shadow cruise missiles and American ATACMS missiles against targets inside Russia, we'd all be dead, because it would have triggered a nuclear war. The Russians said, from Vladimir Putin to the ambassador to the United Nations to the Russian ambassador here in the United States, that this would be an act of war. In fact, the Russian ambassador at the United Nations, in session with the Security Council, said it will be a declaration of war. And I believe there was a back channel communication, because all of that wasn't resonating. There was a final back channel communication, the content of which I don't know, but I think I know. And I think they said, these are the targets we're going to hit. And the decision's been made. If you do this, this is automatic. You can't stop it. That's why Biden was so mad. Did you see him when he get ready to meet with Starmer? Because he was ready. They were ready. They had it all together. Starmer brought the big red box with all the documents. They were going to sign off on this thing. Because Russia's bluffing. Russia's bluffing. Russia's bluffing. Russia wasn't bluffing. And someone said, what do you think about Putin's thing? I don't give much mind to Putin. Look at that angry old man. You know why he was angry? Because he was humiliated by the Russians. But this isn't about humiliation. What it's about is that a man named Volodymyr Zelensky has put political pressure on the United States, Great Britain, and NATO to allow him to do something that everybody knows has the potential of triggering a nuclear war. And they almost did it. They almost signed off on it. We almost all died this weekend. Do you understand that? I don't think people understand it. 72 minutes is all it takes from the initiation of the first action to the end of the world. 72 frickin' minutes. Whatever the hell you were doing this weekend, you wouldn't have gotten to do it. I went to a movie. You wouldn't get to see the end of the movie. Took my kids for a walk. They ain't coming home. Took my dog for a walk. You ain't coming home either. There will be no home. And if there is, the consequences of surviving the initial nuclear exchange are worse than dying in the initial nuclear exchange. Nikita Khrushchev said it. The survivors will envy the dead. I don't think anybody gets it. I don't think your audience gets it. I think they're just saying that, guys, we all almost died this weekend. It's the closest we came to nuclear war since the Cuban Missile Crisis. One stroke of the pen would have all been taken. They were getting ready to sign the frickin' documents. Biden was lined up with Starmer. They had the paperwork ready. And it's only because the Russians said, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. We're not bluffing. And thank God somebody close to Biden went, they ain't bluffing. They're not. And Biden made the right decision. But they're still going to talk about it. They're going to go up in the General Assembly and talk about it. Zelensky's going to come here and talk about it. How much longer are we going to allow this insane man in Kiev to hold the fate of the world in his hands? When are we going to take charge and say, oh, we don't want to die. I want to go to the movies. I want to walk the dogs. I want to play with my kids. I want to live. Because that's what this is about. This isn't stupid academic parlor games with, drunk people in the back room smoking cigars going, well, the Russians are bluffing. Well, historically speaking, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not bluffing. This is about America and Great Britain enabling Ukraine to attack Russian cities using weapons provided by the United States and Great Britain, using targets developed by the United States and Great Britain, inserted into the weapon systems by American and British hands. People need to understand that ATACMS can't be launched. It's a GPS-guided system, GPS and inertial guidance system. But if it's GPS, commercial GPS, like we all use, well, wait, Scott, I got a Garmin. Great. You got a single signal between you and the Garmin, and I can jam it anytime I want, and then you're stupid. You don't have anything. You have to use military-grade GPS. That's 2 signals. In order to make those signals work, they're encrypted. You have to be able to decrypt them. So there's a little device that gets plugged in there, and you have to load in the encryption. Only Americans and NATO get to do that. It's part of a schedule published by the National Security Agency. So before each ATACMS can be used to launch, to make sure that GPS doesn't get jammed, an American or NATO hand has to load up the encryption. That means that we're making this possible. That missile can't hit Russian territory without an American hand. The Russians are going, that means you're attacking us. Literally, it means you're attacking us. You're a party to the conflict. With the Storm Shadow, it's even more. It uses GPS, again, that whole encryption thing we just talked about. It uses an inertial navigation system, but it also uses something called terrain, basically terrain following, TERCOM.
Okay, brothers and sisters, I may have to play it again or may have to reset because like they're interrupting, it's like it's buffering. I'm monitoring it. Another laptop. I'm having a lot of system problems lately. Well, I've been having them quite a while, but they're very intense lately. We're not playing that, brothers and sisters, because this person's searching on the right, this Scott Ritter guy. He's a very high official. I mean, he's not in the game anymore, but very high official. And they so worried about him that they raided his house recently and took his passport and everything. See? Because you got a lot of people out there that's nervous. They know this thing is about to blow. In fact, someone's saying it's blowing already. It's just low key right now. The war's already started. So it looks like this thing is frozen. Okay, let me give it a couple more seconds, brothers and sisters, and let me restart. Because they shut down my YouTube, and they shut down my Messenger, and it won't be long before they shut down Facebook, and shut down everything, because they think that's going to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. Yeah, it's I'm getting a couple more seconds, brothers and sisters. See, it's getting worse. Yes, I'm going to stop and reset before I go any further. Because I had to reset my whole system a couple of days ago. Well, I don't know, it's just moving a little faster now. Okay, I'll play that video again later. Right? If you didn't get it. So I was talking about earlier, I don't know how much is got messed up or not, but I was talking about that purple behind me right here. Move myself out the way so you can see a little better. We'll just do it this way. Hold on. See, you have this purple here. You don't put those things there for no reason. And so, as I was saying before, there's a lot set forth a parable of two men. And the parable is about these two men. Not about the master, about the two men. Right? And one of them is dumb, controlling no, he has the murder of his master. Where he senses he brings no good. Now, what master would keep a servant like that unless the master was deceived by the servant, or he was allowing the servant to go on because he didn't want the servant, he had some, he didn't want the servant to know he was onto him. Like you don't have an undercover person, right? You have and like what the mafia says, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Well, there's some wisdom to that because, like I was saying earlier, right? We understand pressure. See, I try to explain these things, but because I try to get like all the church and everything, they give you all this information, but they don't tell you the math behind it. Like remembering 5 plus 2 is 7, 8 plus 3 is 11, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. And that, you remember all these. So they get a whole bunch to remember. Right? But then when they ask you, like, you can remember 8 plus 2 is 10, but somebody can ask you how much 2 plus 8, because you don't know the process. All you do is remembering all these. And so then you got to remember every combination there is, and you can't do that. And so long as they stay within that combination, you're good. But they get outside of it, then you can't calculate, because you're not calculating, you're memorizing. You see? So when you take and that's what I'm saying, the whole engine is about giving you the process, how to, the mechanism, the science behind it. So now you can calculate. So it gives you examples. See, angel, my person gives you the examples. After I teach you how to calculate, and they give you examples, so you can start practicing calculating. So you can see, okay, for instance, you say, okay, you give somebody a way to calculate something. Then you give them an example, and then they got to figure out, okay, they got to start learning to calculate. So they come to that example. When they come to that same answer, they say, oh, I got it right. I mean, I got it right because they gave you the example, and now you got to calculate to get that example to come to get that example. You understand? Let's out back here again. I don't know if you understand or not, but so they say, okay, here's the way you calculate. Example, and see if you can use that calculation, this information, and come up with that answer. See? But you got to show the calculations. You can't just say, well, I memorize it. See? And so that's what it is. All the examples and everything now. So you got to calculate to get that answer. So you don't have to do that with the Seal Bible. Seal Bible just say, hey, this, do this, whatever. But this, you got to calculate to get it. And they give you the key, the angel key and all that stuff. Right? Give you all the mechanisms, right? So you can do the calculations, right? And so then, that's the process. That's what you mean uploading the angel. So now you can start calculating. And when you start calculating, then after a while, you don't need the angel anymore because now you got the process. Except once you know the mathematics, you don't particularly know the angel anymore because you got the process. Okay? But if you see, you know somebody having a process, if you say, how much is 2 plus 5? They say 7. They say, how much is 5 plus 2? They can't answer. They memorize it. They never can answer because they memorize it. Because they don't have the process. And maybe they don't believe in the process, they don't care about the process. Because they ain't there for the process. They deceive you. They ain't there for the process. They deceive you. Like this guy right here. See, if they say this person is dumb, control not. If the master kept money, the master must be dumb to keep a person like that on the servant. So it's a lot of death in that story right there. And then you're talking about in the Quran says the elevated places. They know all by their marks. So who will be considered on elevated places? Would that be like the messenger? They'd be like the prophets? They'd be like Master Muhammad? They'd be like, so, that means they know all by their marks. But if you had an undercover agent come into your house, come to your organization, whatever, and if you understand how pressure works, because pressure's collision, like atoms colliding, right? And so if atom collides, and if one's colliding with you, I mean, it's their collisions, that's the pressure, right? So if you was able to destroy one atom, you haven't relieved the pressure, or there's another atom just takes its place. But see, you knew what that atom was, but you might not know what the next one is. So you understand wisdom, then you be wise. If an undercover person comes, you don't say nothing. Because now you know what that person is, and you can manipulate that person because they don't know you. They don't know that you know who they are.
You can give him information that you want to give him. You control, manipulate him. He sent bad information back to his master, right? Because they don't think they got you fooled, but you want got them fooled. See? Because if you get rid of them, what they're going to do, they're going to send another one in there. You may not realize who the other one is. See? That's why, you understand the mechanism, the man behind it. Then you can apply it to all kinds of situations. But if you just memorize them, then you can only apply that situation because no situation come up, you can't recognize it. The same identical situation, just a little modification, you can't recognize it because it has to be identical. When you memorize something, it has to be identical to the one you just memorized. I say all this. See? Because, over the years, okay, it gets to the chase here. If you understand anything about an angel, and it tells you that in the sealed Bible, right? Even the sealed Bible, understand it. The most dangerous person on the planet, and they know it's the end times, the most dangerous person on the planet is the lamb that break them seals. You don't have to be you don't have to know the angel. And the preacher, all they know that, but they try to tell you, it's this, whatever, or he ain't coming, or he. The one that breaks those seals, that's the most dangerous person on the planet. Who can make war with the beast, who's like the beast. These 12 horns make war with the lamb, and the lamb overcomes them. Right? The lamb does this, the lamb does that. The most dangerous person on the planet. Now, what you recognize who that person is, right? That's the person that's going to destroy you. Right? Now, what do you do about that? What do you do about that? You got so-called unlimited resources. Like I was telling a person all day, I said, if somebody came and said, hey man, I give you $1 million to let me rape your mama, who would take that? Okay, say to me, how about 5 million? And he's like, okay. Some probably would take to me. Say, okay, yeah, go ahead, man, but I'm gonna buy a nice house afterwards. She'll forget about it. You don't know what. See, one of the problems we had, like the messenger was saying, is that we assume other people like ourselves, and I had that problem for a long time. Because we assume other people like ourselves. That's how the devil got us. That's how the devil got us. Because we could imagine they could be doing stuff or doing stuff like they've done. Because there wasn't anything like that. People didn't lie. I mean, there was no word of lie in our language. Because there's something that didn't happen. Words had meaning. Words had weight to them. That was took to separate the weight from the words. Just gave you the words, and you assumed the weight was there, and there was nothing there. They give you a picture of a cake. You thought the cake was coming, wasn't no cake coming. Hey, I'm gonna give you a cake. I'm gonna give you all this. I'm gonna give you a picture of a house. Oh man, he gonna give me all this stuff. You give me now. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna give you, right? And I tell you that you give me 25 acres over there. That okay? You got it. See, I'm gonna get. Oh, see, and you ain't gonna get a goddamn thing. You gonna got pictures, and our people still going for that now. 40 acres and a mule. I explained how this person was explaining how, and I've been saying it for years, Civil War was nothing about slavery. Right? But they used you, told you, hey, if you help fight and help us fight our war, then we're going to give you freedom. And then once you won the battle for them, they put you in a worse form of slavery than you was in before. And this is the devil saying this. This is historical fact. And stuff is coming out now. You see? Because the mathematics of it is, if a dog bites you intentionally or unintentionally, you still get bit. As far as consequence is concerned, if there's a consequence, the consequence will be the same for both. Don't give a damn what his intentions were. So if somebody's causing you harm, see, that's one of the devil's things. They'll run over your car and they say, well, excuse me, like, damn, excuse me, like that's supposed to heal me? And they'll get angry with you. Man, but you say, excuse me. I don't play a game. Right? You run over me, I don't give you intention, not intention. The damage is done. And I don't want to hear about all that bullshit. I don't hear it. See, I'm not buying it. See? Smoke and screen. Because the point is that people ain't as dumb as they appear to be sometimes. In fact, people that come across me as dumb, I watch them most closely. Because it takes something to tell them it's that dumb. So we got enemies all about. And so the Lamb would have more enemies than anybody. And the devil would come at him all kinds of ways. A while back, my wife, she took off, she does the thing that she wants. We see her mama, right? So, she was gone for a week or two. And so I had to drive to the airport. So I drove her car. She got a real nice car. It's a real nice car. I mean, with that, she has a number now. Because I would get a new car. But this one I got a little early because of a certain situation. But, it's a high-end car. And so I had the car parked outside for a while she was gone. Then I put it inside the garage. As I was doing some things in the garage, I put it up. Well, a few days, right? So I put it in the garage. A few days before I had to go pick her up from the airport. And so I knew it was there was a lot of moisture on the floor. I noticed it. I didn't register at the time, right? So I drove down to the airport to get her, and it's like, I don't know, it's a pretty good drive. I guess about 30, 40 miles round trip, something like that. Somewhere around there. So I could pick her up and come back, right? And so the next morning she goes to go to the store, bam, engine check light, come on, bam. She can't drive it. And then we noticed on the floor that was oil. This is the anniversary of a brand new car. It's not even a year old. Right? All leaked out. Inside the garage. It didn't happen when we was outside there. Inside the garage. So I'm saying, Because see, when outside there, it's kind of hard to get under because of the gravel and all that kind of stuff under the ground. And so it turns out, there's a cap under the undercar, right? And so some suspicious people, I'm not going to say it is, right? Also, here's the explanation. And I'm not buying any of this. It's almost a brand new car, right? I mean, Aunt got it in, untwisted, and left the oil out. Because see, the whole idea was, and it almost happened, because I'm driving down the interstate, 80, 90 miles an hour, and that oil runs out of the engine, it seizes up, boom. What you think the result will be? I suddenly stop. Cars coming at me at 80 miles an hour behind me or whatever. What do you think would happen? That was the idea. And so when we got the car shop, nobody was buying that. Nobody, the dealership, nobody was buying that just leaked by itself. Nobody was buying it. I wasn't buying it. So how did that happen? See? So I just said, okay, we got a different car. Just turn it back and got another different one. See, it's nice. It's nice, the other one, but it's a different car. See? And a couple of things like that have been happening. See? Because they can't come at me directly, but they come at me. I told you, they know that and they know I've broken the seals. Because they look, they run their computers and everything, yeah, they know it. And they know all these things that happen once the seals was broken. They know that. You know, but you know it. The Bible tells you they know. The very instance like that about Herod, he knew Jesus was going to be born. How did he know? He got it from the Bible. It says right in there. And so his idea was kill him. Because he knew it was going to be a dangerous kingdom. So what was that talking about? That's talking about something happened way back then, something happening now. Okay? Like I was saying, you know, the person say, hey, I'll give you $1 million for kill you, rape him. I'm pretty sure you say, oh yeah, but you think some people wouldn't do that? And they're justify, oh man, well, okay, but yeah, she got raped, yeah. But point is, man, I'll buy a nice house afterwards. She'll never know. And she'd be better off, whatever. Because it justify. See, because human brain is good at justifying bullshit. So I don't know if you saw that video clearly enough, whatever. I'll play it back again. Okay. But it's telling you the time it is. The devil recognizes it. And they know that there'll be somebody here at the end that they can't buy out, because they already stories in the scripture about when Satan tried to buy out Son of Man. And you know, they can't buy him out. They can't bribe him. And they know scripturally that if they attack him, that's the end of him. And they might not believe it, but they know the scripture tell them that. So they can come directly. Because they've come at me all kinds of direct. I mean, what, 5 years ago, I guess it was? 5, 6 years ago? Yeah. I'm driving down towards the gym, and these guys jump out of their car, come to knock on my window, call me names and everything. I said, what the hell is that about? And so I said, what the hell is this? So I wasn't going to the gym. I said, I'm going to go down here and turn around. I want to know where I'm going, because I want to go to something in my car or whatever. So I go down there, and they pull one of those maneuvers where, you know, cops, when they hit you with, flip my car totally over, total it. See? And they were surprised I came out alive. And then not too long ago, I'm going down to see one of my clients, and I make a turn, a legal turn, left-hand turn to go into the complex where they were. And this person ran the red light and totaled my car, totaled it. And if you look at the traffic, it was impossible for her to do the way she did, because if you understand how the traffic flow and everything else. So I know they're coming at me. See? And they come in all kinds of ways. They come at me with people, pretending they was with me and they ain't. I go along with it sometimes. Right? In all kinds of ways. That's what time it is. They know what time it is. It said they know what time it is. It says right here, scripture says, he was full of wrath because he knew his time was short. So he knew his time was short. He was full of wrath. So what do you think he would be doing? He knows who's the object of it. Not only does he know that the lamb is the most dangerous, but he knows what's potential dangerous is what the lamb is about to accomplish. He's about to raise an army, right? And that will multiply the problem over 10,000 times. 100,000 times. See? Because 144,000, man, that was like, That's if, because right now, see, it might be doubtful that even happened because I'm not locked into doing that. And so it says, you know, they had an issue. They turned the God against him, they turned the messenger against him, and the inner man turned against the priest against him too. Right? Because patience, remember, when they say God is a man, that means he has patience. He also has a temper. He also can run out of, if you have patience, that means you can run out of patience. See, when they tell you that, you read, it means if you got human characteristics, he got the same characteristics you got. He may have more discipline about it, but he got the same characteristics you got. And that's why Muhammad, I mean, he didn't just sit there and say, I'm just not going to sleep anymore. He had to do things to make that happen. Anyway, brothers and sisters, boundless desolation is right before our eyes right now. Who's calling it out? They know who I am. See, that's why I said when I was in Guam, they came in, it was an unseen hand. I saw it, but it was an unseen hand behind the scenes. It was pushing that affair. Great people just out. I mean, these people didn't know me, but everybody was against me. I mean, I was walking. I was with her to the mall to get something, right? And this woman come, hey, look at she said something. I forgot what she said to me. It was really evil and nasty. And then she spilled on the ground. I ain't know this woman. Had no idea. So I've been dealing with that. That's part of what I'm doing. It's plus the size. Besides, I know they got my house bugged. All in my equipment. All the last few days, it's been like, it's been like not drag out. Getting everything, equipment to work. All inside of it. But they can't stop it. But that's not the issue. They think they can stop it. That's what makes them dangerous, because they think they can stop it. So they'll call a lot of aggravation, hostility, but they can't stop it. It's just the resistance, and you have to understand the resistance. Understand what the resistance means, because if you understand the resistance means, I mean, you're going to fold in the resistance. Oh, man. You know what they tell you? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is an act of insanity. They tell their children, at first you don't succeed, try again. So it's all two different messages about the same thing. See? So at this point right now, they're doing everything to aggravate me. I guess they figure they can invoke a stroke or something. See? Because for the last couple of weeks, they somehow was poisoning me. My blood pressure shot, like, bam, my blood pressure shot so high. Nobody can understand how my blood pressure, I didn't want to do anything different. My blood pressure was so high. I mean, I couldn't even sleep. Yeah, my blood pressure starts dropping, everything else just shot like that there. So I was able to get around that. Yeah. So they're coming after me, I don't care. Well, I don't mean it like that, I don't care. I don't mean, I'm not worried about it, put it that away. Because they can't stop it. That's the promise. It says, no man will stand against you. That means just say, will be against me, they won't be able to stand. Trying to be against me. And so, I'm going to bottom line here. Because it says clearly, I mean, it tells you clearly, it says, if you're not with me, you're against me. So if you're doing things that's causing me issues, you're against me. If you manipulating this message, you're against me. It says, read the scripture. All those with me or against me. So either you're with me or you're against me. Ain't no in between. So if you interrupt and you're storing anything, right? That's about that stone. Anything that got in the way, that stone got crushed. That's the bottom line. So to tell me, don't put up any bullshit. You see? I got to put some bullshit to some extent because there are people in. But at some point, right, you got to call a horse a horse and a pig, right? But it says, if you ain't with me, you're against me. So if you cause any problems, you're a burden and everything else, you're against me. Because you're slowing down because somebody else, you got a lesson, one of Supreme Wisdom lesson about the rusty locks. You put a little oil on it, because if you waste time with this, that means you won't get to another one. So the other one's lost because you wasted a lot of time with this one. I know you don't understand what the lesson means. Okay? So, what this people saying here in this presentation, and you got, I'm just saying, it's a lot of people saying these people, highly placed officials, and some of them worked in the White House and worked with, right? This guy's a former Marine. He was a UN inspector, nuclear inspector. I mean, he worked in Israel, worked in false Israel, worked in Russia, worked all those places. He knows what he's talking about. And so they see it because right now the world's on edge. And a lot of people can't explain because the government knows who I am. And so now they got the stupid idea, right? That maybe we just shut them down on YouTube. Maybe shut them down on Facebook. Go do it. When I started out, there was no Facebook, there wasn't no YouTube, was any of that stuff. This stuff was still going on. Because it's more than in fact, I don't even like mess with Facebook because it's like preaching in a circus. Who's gonna take it serious, man? It's a circus. Right? You in there preaching in a circus, man. Who's gonna take it? It's a circus, right? There's clowns there. A lot of people aren't here. A lot of people come to the circus, so that's how I reach them. Right? I don't need to do it because I know that my people are not going to listen to the situation anyway, right? Until false Israel hit, and that's gonna wake. That's that alarm that wakes them out of their nightmare. Because right now, that's what's holding them. That's what's holding them locked down. Because they believe false Israel, so it takes the vision away from them. People without a vision perish. Our people do not have a vision because they're blocking that vision by putting false Israel up there, and so that took away their vision. So they don't have it. That's why they're perishing in every respect, socially, economically, mentally. Right? They ain't producing the goddamn thing. They walk around with their pants hanging out, panties on, slippers on. I mean, all this just not. They're perishing. They're the gods. That's the purpose of it. It says, let them deal with it shrewdly. They said, we'll destroy them. We don't want to see what's happening. But it's not going to happen because it's going to come to the point, like I said, it comes to the point where the knife is just about to pierce their heart and Suleiman stops it. So in other words, they said they're on the threat of death. They're about to die. So that means that's what you should be seeing out there. These are not people on the verge of death. Because the whole nation is dying out there. It's dying. Then you got those people come here, tell me, hey man, I want to help you. I don't hear the bullshit. Our people are dying out there and you're talking this bullshit. You don't believe that? Because if you did, you would be acting, talking you want to talk. They know all by their marks. Our people are dying there. I keep telling you, under the threat of death. And the gods abandon them, and even the messengers abandon them. And they're pretty nice about to pierce their heart. Only thing is stopping them at the time, just before they... Somebody stops it. Snow. And then it said, he takes out the ram, Gog and Magog. It's right there. See? There wasn't anybody helping them. No three, whatever. Nobody was there. He stopped it by himself. He stopped his hands and no, don't do it. That's why I said Abraham's doing it. Because their own, like I said, their own father was doing it. Because that's the message. That's a symbolic of message. Even the people that was closest to him was going to kill him. Master Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad says, "Man, Exodus, don't get rid of them. I'm tired of them." I said, man, because they banned them. Farrakhan had him worship another God and turn him away from everything the best life was teaching. They said, oh, Truman said, no. He saved him. Because he's at the point of death right now. Right? And they say they bound him up. What does that mean? See? And they got all these agents and stuff distracted me to keep me from hoping that I will stop him from dying. I distract him or slow me down. See? Because if you ain't with me, you're against me. See? If you ain't with me, you're against me. Period. And right now, no one's with me. It says, it tells you, it says, you look, it says you're amazed. There was nobody to help. So I told you before, I ain't trusting anybody. I don't need to. And I don't need anybody to help me. I never asked anybody to help me. Because they're not help. Distractors. Working for the devil, whether intentionally or not. Don't matter. I said somebody run over your ass and they apologize to make you feel better. So here we are, brothers and sisters. Bottom these desolations there. You hear these people talk. Here's a guy says, he was saying, well, he said, we could have been dead over the weekend. And if you follow that story, you probably know that story. Yeah, he's right. Because if they had made that deal, Russia says, oh, but I knew that ain't going to happen like that. Or they're going to get into it with Russia. Right? But they already tied Russia and Iran together. And then they said Iran tried to kill Bush. Tried to kill Trump. And Iran is giving them the missiles that's going to, see, they're tying all up to Iran. I told you, I've been saying for years, I showed the president, I've been digging out presentations from years ago, talking about bombing this desolation, long before it was even on the horizon. So at this point, I want everybody to notice, pay attention to this. If you're hearing anything about this from anybody else, they don't have nothing to do with me. Nothing, zero. Right? Because they say anything that means they're out to deceive you because they're not representing this. In fact, no one's been representing this for the last 4 or 5 years but me for the last 30 years. Because nobody produced anything. And all it has distractions. So I've had for the last 4 or 5 years, distractions. Like somebody's trying to slow me down. Because that's the effect. Intentional or not. That's why I'm looking at it. See? We got to stop going for the okie doke. You know, like the magician. You guys look over here while you're doing something over here. No, I'm looking at what you're doing over here. I don't care what you're talking about over there. I'm looking at your actions. If your action says that you're against me, then you're against me. I don't give a damn what your excuse is. I don't care what your explanation is. I don't care what your action is. If your action is against me, you're against me. I mean, is that too complicated to understand? And you can't F around with this message. This message, you know, it's like a lifeline. You got a person, a house on multiple story building, and it's on fire. And so a person, they come out the window, well, they can't jump, right? Because that's death. They don't want to burn. So you give them throw a rope to them, right? You see? So they want to know that that rope is firm, strong. It wasn't put together by somebody, just threw something together. See? So they can be let down on it, because otherwise they halfway down to snap. Because maybe they can climb down to another window or something, but they can hold on to that rope, they trust in that rope. They want that rope to be same thing. That's what this message in total darkness. People need to hold on to this, because that's the only thing that's going to keep them. Remember, they never went through this before. Unprecedented. So even with the angel and with the 5 pillars, they didn't have faith in it. They didn't have faith in it. that math works, that it works like I tell them it works, that the discipline is what gives them power. Because right now it's just words, that's knowledge. Like I said, in Guam, that was my baptizement because I had the knowledge. I just didn't have the experience, the understanding. And that was, I hated, it says it would hate it. It says, I got to go to baptism. Now most distress is over. I was very distressed. I hated going through it. But the experience, invaluable. Experience, invaluable. You understand? Because I got a chance to see the 5 pillars and the angel in action, the power it had over the people around me. I was manipulating them. I was whooping their ass. Unseen. What the Fred Kern says, those who bleed unseen, that's mathematics that you can't see, but you control if you have discipline. And that's what the angel gives you. That's what 5 pillars give you. So that was invaluable because I had the knowledge. I just never experienced doing it. And when I did it, I came out of there a whole different person. I mean, I was sure of myself for going in there. But I came out of there, man, I was like, whoa. I mean, I was fearless if I went in there, but I was a whole different person. Because now, it wasn't knowledge. I had faith in knowledge. She said, I had the experience. I actually saw it. So I know anybody come at me, right? I know it's not going to work. And that's where they got part of the reason, main reason why I go to tribulation. See? But you got to apply that discipline. You got to apply all that. And then once you see that you walk through the fire and you see all this stuff happening, and because you're disciplined and because of you applying this, that nothing, no hearing, here be harmed. Even though it's hell raging all around you. See, then you're God. Then you're ready to go home. But some of you ain't gonna make it even in. See, I could tell by what some people say, you know, I'm gonna get me a gun. And that's stupid in itself, ain't it? Who makes the guns? You got a little 45, right? Right. And they got a 8 millimeter, what they call it, 50 caliber. I don't know if you've seen a 50 caliber. That's a bad boy, right? The bullet's about bigger than your thumb, right? And they got a range of like about 2 miles, I think. I remember when I was in Germany, right? I was in the military, and my first place called Wild Flicken in German, but we call it Wild Flicken. And it was like, well, I was stationed at a training center. And so when people would come to train, right? So and so they was out there one day test firing the 50 calibers, right? And like it was on the mountain. And they had like cities down in the valley down there. And the guy pointed the wrong direction. He was firing it down the range, but he got it. Somehow he was pointed. He thought he was pointed. They had a range for that, right? But he was pointing a different direction towards the town. And the town was like 2 miles away and everything. All of a sudden, man, you know, trees and everything was shaking, all that kind of stuff. And people called, say, hey man, what's going on? They found, hey, stop it. Because they still had impact. It was going, it was going over the town. Trees and everything else. I was lucky because everyone went into town, man. They wiped out everybody. So you talk about little 45. They got calibers, they got machine guns, they got miniguns. You know what a minigun will do? You know, Vietnam, like a minigun, like those things, it's like the Terminator, you know. It's like a minigun. It shoot like 1,000 rounds a second or more. So like, and they had this thing called, what do they call it? I forgot what they call it. Smoking, some kind of dragon or something he's called it. But they had these cargo planes, and they put miniguns on both sides of them, right? And so when they fly over, and the Viet Cong, if they come in the valley, they would just lay there. Because they know when they open that minigun, there's no sense of running. Because that thing, it's like carpet. It's like put a bullet every square inch. It covers everything. You don't miss nothing. It's like pouring water on the floor. Right? Everything gonna get wet. And they see that that's why they stay in the forest. That's why it was deep. That's no story. I'm not getting this. See, so they have all that stuff. You know, America's the most well-armed country in the world. All these people got all these guns. These rednecks got all these guns. I mean, they find these people house full of armory, full of guns. And so when this thing breaks loose, they come in. They hungry. They eat food. They got guns. They got all this stuff. It's gonna be a hell on it. The storage here. And what you gonna do? You got 45, and you think. See. But it takes a mind to operate that. And the point is that their minds just got destroyed. False in Israel. Now a new mind on the scene is the Israel mind. It's just like when they had their mind, it was against us. So we was against ourselves, beating ourselves up. But now they got our mind. What's against them? It says who they are. They're devils. They're evil. They have no hope. They're hell-bound. They're going to be destroyed forever. And they know this, because that's the mind, that's the angel mind, because the other mind is destroyed. So now they understand who they are. They'll say who we are. You understand? And so, and they won't have no future, no hope then. How you think they're going to react to that? Especially when they know that it's your mind that's bringing this happening. They can destroy your mind. They can reincorporate your mind again. How do you think they want to react to that? Oh, a terrible time. It's already here, but it's about to jump in high gear in a minute. Let me go, brothers and sisters. You know, I didn't ask for this job. Like I said many times, I don't want it. But probably no one else was worthy to do it. And sometimes the person that don't want to do it is the best one to do it. You know, I remember that's been a common theme throughout history. Even as a so-called movie, what was that movie? Gladiator, right? Russell Crowe, right? If you remember that the emperor told him he didn't want to be the next guy. He said, I don't. He said, no, you got it. You don't. It's got to be you because you don't want to do it. Because you ain't in there for yourself. You don't want to do it. So you'd be the right one to do it because you don't want to do it. See? Because like all these cultures, they want to be the son of Mary. They don't want. They want it because of glory. They want to be glorified. Oh, the honorable Ben X, the honorable Silas. Let's build a castle for him. Oh, he's so beautiful. Let's kiss his ass. This shit's honey. You see, that's what they want. You don't give a damn about you at Farrakhan. All the honors, the ways he produced, not a goddamn thing. Nothing. Because it's about them. See? And I got the truth that they cannot stand against. It's rocking the world. I don't give a damn they platform me. You see me worried about it? Remember, what was I before they platformed me? What was I doing that for? How many years before? When the YouTube stuff come out? Sure wasn't in the 90s. So how was I operating then? See? You understand about frequencies and wavelengths, thought patterns, right? Brain waves. My brain waves affecting yours affecting mine. So I got a new pattern in the world. You got this brain waves on certain frequency, right? And a wavelength, right? So everybody's operating on that wavelength and frequency. What if a new frequency wavelength comes in? Then it disrupts the old frequency wavelength. Start changing it. And if it gets stronger, 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 you start changing it to that frequency wavelength. Eventually, it's on the same frequency wavelength. Okay, let me say it again. Brain waves are real frequency wavelengths. Don't they? Right? And so you're transmitting frequency wavelengths, I'm transmitting them, you're picking them up, I'm picking up. That's not just a sound, you're picking up that. That's why tune in. Only problem is you're not disciplined enough to sort it out yet, but you're still doing it. So your thought waves out there. If thought waves out there means they affect. If thought waves are producing them, that means it's affecting you as much as you're producing them. You're producing thought waves on this frequency and a wavelength. And so you're being affected by thought waves on a wavelength and frequency. So now everybody's operating on the same wavelength frequency, the sealed Bible. So now you come to the unsealed Bible with another wavelength of different frequency and a high amplitude. You don't forget about the amplitude. And as amplitude is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, the wavelength is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, right? That means it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. The shorter the wavelength, I believe, if I got it right, the more intense it is. Right? You see? So, and that means a higher frequency. So anyway, I think I'm saying that correct. I'm not. You can go ahead and shoot me. I'm pretty sure I got to say that correct. Right? And so therefore you put out different wavelength, different amplitude that's out there. That means that's why I tell you about studying vectors. Because the effects about forces, wavelength, frequency, amplitude, that's force. And when two forces combine, right, you get a resultant force. Because they can't stay the same, they have to be a combination of two forces. The resultant is a combination of two forces. So in other words, the result is a combination of my force against their force on the world. And so the greater force start forcing the shorter force in that direction. Let me give you an example. You got two forces come together. So they come together, I don't know if this equal, right? So the result is like be straight up, but if this gets stronger and stronger and stronger, it starts pushing, right? This other one, instead of straight up, it starts moving it more and more in its direction. It gets strong enough, right? See what I'm saying? Go start bending the other one. And so in other words, eventually, that you got everybody's on that wavelength now. Because now they're on a combined wavelength. At first they just had on this wavelength, just had this. It's going like that there. So somebody come along, boom, they got affected. So now it starts changing the wavelength, changing the way people are thinking. Because his thinking is different. His action is different. See? It's like when you meet somebody, they're acting different than everybody else. You may say that person acting different, but you just reacted to it. Even though you think they're acting different, crazy, you still reacted to it. So that's going to affect what your next move is, the next thought is, and everything else. You meet somebody that's crazy, and you walk and say that person's crazy. But by saying that person's crazy, didn't that just affect your thought? Did that just affect your thought? That's the crazy, but that's affecting your thought. And you might go home and tell your wife, that person, isn't that still affecting your thought? You ain't thinking about something else, you're thinking about that. So it's tainting your thoughts. I don't know if you understand that. So they can be platform all you want to. Because my thinking is the way I act, the way I think, when I talk, it's affecting people around me. I go to the gym, they don't like me. Okay, isn't that affecting their thoughts? That guy don't like that guy at the gym, isn't that affecting their thoughts? You don't talk about it, is that affecting their thoughts? They had to think it. They weren't thinking that before. There was people, we don't love everybody. Oh, what's wrong with him? See, what's wrong with him? All of a sudden, it's bothering him because he's different. Okay, now you're thinking on a different plane than you was thinking before. You was nice and comfortable. Now you ain't nice and comfortable anymore. It's affecting your thoughts. You understand that. And the angel, that's the whole purpose is to bring those seals because it's putting a new thought in the world that's so powerful because it played everything. And all they doing is lies. They can't explain anything. You ask a question, they can't explain any of this stuff. Remember, the sealed Bible is their mind, but they can't explain it. All that stuff in here. Okay, yeah, but you got, who's the dragon? Who's the jinn? Who's the devil? They can't explain it. But it's their mind. They got a mind full of unexplained stuff. That's the sealed Bible. The sealed Bible, that's the sealed Bible. Unsealed Bible comes and sprays on, boom. It's like firecrackers going to bounce. It's more powerful. Because now you start making sense of this stuff. The other one, you have to think with the sealed Bible. You have to think with it. Like I say, you take it literally. But now the unsealed Bible, if you going through the process, now you're thinking. And if you're thinking, remember, they're not about reality. They're taking literally. They're thinking about mathematics, cell phone, that kind of stuff. They still in religion, ain't they? Christianity. They don't require any thinking, but that's the core of this whole reality. Right? It doesn't require any thinking for Christianity. Not a zero. See? That's the core of it. An angel requires thinking. And when you start thinking, right? If you build muscle, somebody ain't build muscle, who's going to win that fight? If you thinking you're going to defeat people that's not thinking. And then Christianity has no thought process there. But an angel is thought process. And the more you study it, the more you start thinking, the more powerful you become. See? And so your mind sight becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. You see things. See, we have to use the word sight because that's the highest level they have here. Right? But I say perception. Perception becomes more powerful. And so your mind is more powerful than theirs. And so therefore you blow theirs away. That's talking about the bombs, hydrogen, fusion and fusion. You may understand, may don't understand it. That's your problem if you don't understand it. But it's coming in. An angel by itself won't do it. It had a lamb do it. He'd do it, right? And when he did it, right, he'd upload it. And now all that knowledge is now the new reality, the new thought waves, new frequency, new wavelength, new amplitudes in the world. And it's affecting all around it. And it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. But then I told you about resonance and quantum, right? So you keep on doing it, and it depends on your reaction rate, right? And so you keep on, and it's eventually you overcome your reaction rate, and then bam! And that's happened in the Nation of Islam. For 30 years, it takes to keep on constant. And anybody that's paying attention know they're reacting to this message. And constant until eventually overcomes their reaction rate, and then bam! They come alive. That's exactly what it says is going to happen. So they can shut down all they want to. Okay? And let me leave you with this, I think I mentioned this before. This ain't the first time they shut down. And they're probably going to shut down because I got a couple of more. Right? YouTube. Right? But platforms, but they're probably going to end up shutting them down too. They already did shut down my messenger. I did the thing about about the gin last night. Shut it down. And no explanation, nothing, just shut it down. Right? And I had one they didn't know about. So they probably shut that down pretty soon too. Right? And same thing about Facebook. Right? Because Messenger is part of Facebook, so I'm people shut that down in a minute. I got a few Facebook pages, they probably find them all and shut them down. But a while back, I had a YouTube page a while back. This was about 5 or 6 years ago, I guess, because for most time I had nobody dealing with. I mean, people come and go, but nobody stayed around that long because I wouldn't let them stay around long because right away I saw they would go bullshit, get the hell out of here, you're wasting my time, right? Because it was hard to stick around with me. But the last 4 years I kind of well, that's no story. But the thing is that was one of my first YouTube, and it was and on Facebook, I look on Facebook, I upload Facebook, and I see on Facebook, and I was getting some significant hits or whatever you call it. On YouTube, it was like moderate, 20, 30, 40. And so one day, someone sent me they contacted me and they wanted me to explain something about YouTube, and they wanted to bring up my YouTube, what they saw my YouTube, right? They was doing some kind of, I think, what's they call it? Not Messenger, but the other thing, right? Whatever they call it. And so he brought it up. And so I'm looking at him bringing it up. Now on my YouTube page, it had like about 30 hits, right? His YouTube page, the same one, with like thousands. I'm looking, I said, well, hold it. I didn't say anything first, I'm looking. I said, wait, that's the same thing I'm looking at. It says thousands. And they was only showing me like 30 or 40, 50 hits. It's saying thousands. And shortly after that, they shut the damn thing down. They shut it down cold. And the one they shut down recently, I noticed that I put a press station out there. I think one said, who was Farrakhan right there? All of a sudden, he started moving real fast. It jumped up to 40 real quick. Bam, this thing open. They shut it down. No explanation whatsoever. Shut down YouTube. Shut this down. Shut Facebook down too. Because if that was control, this be I'd be in trouble, wouldn't I? If that was all they had to do to stop Son of Man, to stop the truth, man, this wouldn't be worth nothing with it. See? Anyway, but that's it, brothers and sisters. Let me see if I can play this again. And play this again, this video again. Maybe it's the video, I don't know. Let me see if I can play this again. Because I don't know if I played all right last time, then I'm close. See my voice so raspy and everything, brothers and sisters. Because I haven't taken a break in 30 years. I haven't taken a vacation. Ain't wife can tell me, you need to take a break. She told me last night, why don't you take a break? I'm going to take my break when the house on fire. My people, well, yeah, but they leave my, I said, okay, well, they're still my people. Right, so let me see if I can see what happens here, bro. Says, give me a second here. Play this.
Good to be here.
Yeah. And let's get started with what's going on right now between Hezbollah and Israel. We have heard about the pager bombings in Lebanon, and it seems that the Iranian ambassador to Lebanon was injured by this attack. And on the other hand, the Israelis hard supported that. Israelis are just expecting that Hezbollah is going to attack them in the coming hours, in a few hours. How do you see the situation right now between these two?
Well, I mean, what does anybody expect? This is war. It may be low intensity, it may be hybrid, but it's war. And the purpose of war is to inflict harm on your enemies. Israel launched an attack in Beirut that killed a senior Hezbollah commander. Hezbollah retaliated by striking Unit 8200 headquarters, reportedly killing the 8200 commander and killing dozens of Israeli intelligence personnel, wounding dozens more. And this appears to be a retaliation by Unit 8200, Israel's, cyber warfare unit. Buy better pagers. I mean, it's war. It doesn't matter whose side you're on. This is part of what hybrid war looks like. What did Hezbollah think was going to happen? That Israel was going to roll back and just take it? What does Israel now think is going to happen? That Hezbollah is just going to absorb 1,500 casualties? Because that's the number that's coming out now. What did Iran think of? Buy better pagers. I mean, I'm sorry. Now that this in 1996, Israel put a small amount of RDX high explosives into a cell phone that had gotten to the hands of the man they called the engineer, Ayosh, I think his name was, and he answered the phone, and they intercepted.
Hold on, brother, sisters. I start from the right point. Let me find the right point. I want you to hear.
This is a very complicated question that's fraught with problems, domestic and international.
The Hill newspaper reported that Donald Trump, together with RFK Jr., they're asking to have some sort of
Okay, here we go.
they're asking to have some sort of negotiations with Russians because of the tensions that are increasing that may lead to a nuclear war. And how is that serious in the conflict in Ukraine, in your opinion?
I'm going to be as serious as I am. I've said this on other podcasts. I'll say it here. I just hope that everybody in your audience knows, you yourself, are you married? I don't mean to ask personal questions, but I know you have kids. You love your family? What did you do this weekend? Did you take them out? Did you enjoy life? You know you almost died on Saturday. Do you know that? Are you aware of that? Or are you pretending it didn't happen? Because had Joe Biden signed off on the proposal that Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, brought in to greenlight the use of Storm Shadow cruise missiles and American ATACMS missiles against targets inside Russia, we'd all be dead. Because it would have triggered a nuclear war. The Russians said, from Vladimir Putin to the ambassador at the United Nations to the Russian ambassador here in the United States, that this would be an act of war. In fact, the Russian ambassador at the United Nations, in session with the Security Council, said it will be a declaration of war. And I believe there was a back channel communication because all of that wasn't resonating. There was a final back channel communication, the content of which I don't know, but I think I know. And I think they said, these are the targets we're going to hit. And the decision's been made. If you do this, this is automatic. You can't stop it. That's why Biden was so mad. Did you see him when he get ready to meet with Starmer? Because he was ready. They were ready. They had it all together. Starmer brought the big red box with all the documents. They were going to sign off on this thing. Because Russia's bluffing. Russia's bluffing. Russia's bluffing. Russia wasn't bluffing. And someone said, what do you think about Putin's thing? I don't give much mind to Putin. Look at that angry old man. You know why he was angry? Because he was humiliated by the Russians. But this isn't about humiliation. What it's about is that a man named Volodymyr Zelensky has put political pressure on the
Okay, brothers and sisters, I'm not sure it's that played too well. It didn't look like it. I'll be monitoring it. So the bottom line is the devil's on edge. They know this thing is about to blow. The problem is they don't know what's going to blow first. It's going to be China, Russia, or Iran. I've been telling 30 years. That's the sinners. I told him when I said says, I bring mother against daughter and father against son and mother-in-law against daughter-in-law. I told you exactly what that meant. I said, be America against Russia, America and Russia against each other. Right? That one, right? I said, be Britain against Europe, the so-called Brexit. Right? I explained that years ago. So now you see the two at it. But it's bottom line is what's going on right now is what's going to trigger it. And matter from Hum has to make a move. We don't have to do anything. Right? But he says he has to preempt. what they're doing, that's why he said cut those days cut short. See, because what they're talking about is nuclear war, which will not happen. But if Master Muhammad didn't intervene, and that devil say that. I got another one that was actually saying that. If Jesus doesn't intervene, it's going to be a total disaster. So if Master Muhammad didn't intervene, there would be a nuclear war. So he's going to cut it short by cutting it all off, diffuse this reality. At the same time, it's going to destroy the mind that's currently, right, ruling this world. It's the mind that's ruling this world, not guns, not bullets, because it takes minds to shoot those guns, those bullets. You understand? And new minds coming in. That's the angel. And there's conflict between the two minds. And pretty soon our people going to have that new mind. See? But also the devil's going to have it too. But just like the mind, their mind is destructive to us, our mind will be destructive to them because now their minds will be gone and they're going to have our mind, and our mind says that we're on top and they're on the bottom and they're devils. It says what's on top will be on the bottom. So that means who's on the bottom? We're on the bottom. We're going to be on the top. They're going to be on the bottom. That's what our mind's going to tell them. They're devils. They're hopeless. Destruction. The people without vision perish. Their vision will be destroyed. Because now they have this American dream vision. They have this line of vision here. This is their paradise. Like Louis Farrakhan, Legions said years ago when the message was around in the 60s, a white man's heaven is a black man's hell. He done changed his theme now, hasn't he? Because if that's the case, this is their heaven. Why we want to stay here if this is our hell? Because they bought them. And all these NX, they're already paid off, they bought. They bought and sold. And a lot of people you see so they sell miles on Sundays, there's plants. The devil make sure they have enough people in there every Sunday so people like they got, because you'd be surprised. You're going to find all this out. The devils, when the devils go down and they see they have no use for Farrakhan anymore, because remember, it's going to be mother-in-law against daughter-in-law. That means they're going to go against the demon. That means they're going to expose Farrakhan. Because they're going to be at each other's throat in a minute, because they won't need them either. Because the game is over. They use them to keep us down, like false Israel. False Israel, that pressure's gone. And then the less pressure on us is the demons. You understand what I'm saying? But then they won't be able to sustain that. So therefore, it says they'll be against the best all blacks. So what that means? It means they're going to expose the chief demon that he was with them all the time. It's obvious he is. It allows people to sit here, those sisters up there. I'll tell you something. If you, I shouldn't even say this, bro. I'm telling too much of what I know. See? I get a little hint. If you follow some of those sisters at Sept on Sunday, squat everything else, if you see them during the week, with one of their panties, right? And piercing, all that stuff. They paid to go in there Sunday, put that stuff on. But says you have no idea the depths. That's why it says in the churches, you have no idea the depths of Satan. They paid to go in there. So look at, he got people in there. See? But it's never full. Yeah, it's just like Daniel and those people, Daniel and Jeff, some of them on the payroll. Maybe all of them are. I know Ishmael's on the payroll. See? This anything doesn't matter make any sense or not. In fact, the less sense it makes, probably better, because then you get told of brain cancer. Because the point is, think about it. You saying stuff makes no sense and they clapping. So are they clapping because they're stupid? When it is clear that it makes no sense what was said? Or they clapping because they paid to clap? Yeah, he's right. And that reminds me of something. You know, Mr. James Jabaz, he was a minister December 25 when I came in August. I got my August 21, 1970, right? I came in the beginning of August. They said nobody got the X as fast as I did, right? That's an all store together. But then I found out my pastor looked for Elijah, but I found out there was a person Elijah run this whole thing because I thought that was church or something. I used to live around the corner from it on Fairmont Avenue. My father took me in there once, right? He was converting, but I didn't know at the time. He passed away before something, you know. At any rate, when I found Elijah in Chicago, I told Mrs. James, hey, I'm going to Chicago to message. He tried to talk me out of it. And one thing he told me, he says, man, you know, there's ages every square foot in Chicago. You don't want to go there, brother. There's ages every square foot. He wasn't lying. Because when that thing turned around, right, most of those people with Farrakhan was wildest people alive was agents. Same thing with Martin Luther King. When you go investigate it, when he bled brains blocked, most people, all the people around was agents. I got agents around me now. You see? The devil is desperate. And he knows it's the truth. He knows it. If you think you know it, then you know he damn well he knows it. So you think he's going to sit back and say, okay, let it happen? So I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. But in a minute, you're going to see an undisciplined demon, an undisciplined devil, undisciplined beast, I call it. Right? Total, that's why I call him beast. Because he's going to be total beast. No discipline, no moral, nothing. Just hungry, angry, no vision, they're total beast. No logic, anything. Right? Just imagine if all your emotion was totally dictated and your thoughts just went, you're totally motivated on your emotions, your hunger, anger, and everything else. You had no discipline over it. Just think of you, that's where the beast is going to be. And our people that love him so much, some are going to end up being beast shit. Been warned. But we'll see in a few days, brothers and sisters. I'm going to leave it there. Leave it there, brothers and sisters. Let's see if I can close this out here. Wait a minute here. Oh. Mm-hmm. Wrath upon wrath. Oh, I wish I had not took such was a friend. But it says, woe day when I wish to take such, the devil such one as a friend. Whoa. Used to have this. To mock us. Just have this. Now I got this. Terrible day, brothers and sisters. They be the first one to say, hey man, how great, bro? Oh, bro, my ass. Zoom on out.